the Commissioners meeting on May 9th to order. And the first item on the agenda is public comments. Anybody got any public comment? Yes, Mr. Albee.
I'm here in the guise of the chairman of the nonprofit Friends of Mountain View. We were given a gift for the benefit of the nursing staff, and our board of directors took a vote and have asked me to inform you that we have a couple of $1,000, I believe it's $2,000, that we'd like to put towards the walking trail. That you also have some money from Primex.
I think we have 2,000 from Primex. Yeah.
And maybe we could get that project going for the benefit of the staff and the residents of the nursing home.
Yeah. Is that committee, that came from an individual?
It did.
It did?
Yes.
Would you ask that individual if he or she would be interested in helping to locate that trail, since they're putting in about half the amount of money?
I could, but I don't think that you'd find that they would be.
Okay. So, all right.
In fact, they're not here in
Wendy
the state.
Scribner is, and Will, Wendy is working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't going to start until we got the new nursing home all done, and then we'd put in that trail. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's where it stands.
Well, hopefully we can move that along this summer. And,
yes. Yes.
Can all benefit from it.
On behalf of the commissioners, please thank the individual for the contribution. We appreciate it. It'll help us put in a decent nature trail.
We're also having, as you know, the car show on the 19th.
No, I don't know. The car show?
Yes.
It's the annual antique car show at the nursing home.
Okay.
Another event that benefits the Friends of Mountain View.
And this is all part of Nursing Home Week, I believe.
Right. It's 11 to 3 on the 19th.
You're not going to be here.
You're all invited. There's a raffle. They're expecting close to 100 classic cars.
Really?
So,
well,
it should be fun.
I will not be here. I will not be here next week. I won't be here from the 15th, and I'll be back on the 21st.
I will be at the 19th.
Great.
Any other public comments? Yes, Dana.
I was just wondering if the commissioners had any kind of bill for the design of the old nursing home building?
Yes.
And if it was paid and how much it was?
I'll have to check with Kathy Geary. It's the balance that's left over from Cooperative Extension. Delegation approved $15,000, came out of Cooperative Extension money, and EGA did an initial survey, and money came out of that. And the balance from that was to go to Bonnet Page and Stone for their estimate on the old building. I want to say, and I should have asked Kathy this morning. I called and asked her to come up with a figure. I want to say that EGA was somewhere around $7,000 or $8,000, and the balance of that would go to Bonnet Page and Stone. And because they didn't get the bid, if they had gotten the bid, or if a bid had gone out, then they would have given us credit for that, not charged us for their estimate. So since there was no bid possibility right now, they would get paid the balance. Should a decision be made with the old nursing home and they get the bid at that point in time, then they would give us credit for this $7,000 or $8,000.
No,
But we did receive we did receive a bill of $15,000. I called Bonapage and Stone Monday, and Randy Remick said I was right, and he agreed that he was going to get the balance. Okay?
So the bill is for 15, but he gets the balance?
The vote was, it was $15,000 by the delegation approved
Yeah.
to take out of capital reserve, okay? EGA got a portion of that. Bonapage and Stone was going to get the rest of it.
Right, but the bill was for 15?
But last week you
But the bill
submitted
was
for
canceled,
15.
is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
The bill was canceled, it was the wrong figure.
And that work didn't have to go out to bid?
What had happened was back
Didn't have to go out to bid.
earlier, when the planning committee for the old nursing home sat, there were two companies who came in to present to the planning committee regarding making plans for what would be accepted for renovation of the building. The planning committee at that time unanimously selected Bonapage and Stone to do that work. That's why there was no subsequent bidding on it, because they had already been bid out for that planning committee. And that's why Bonapage and Stone was doing it.
Yes, Ed?
Doesn't the rule state that the commissioners unanimously have to waive the bidding process, not a subcommittee?
It wasn't a waiver of anything.
Well,
They were bid. There were two companies. Obviously, something went out to bid and to have two companies come in
Yeah.
to present.
The only time you'd waive a bid is if it was unanimous and a good reason given for selecting that particular company or whatever we were bidding on.
But I thought the rule that only the commissioners have to unanimously.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Once the planning board or the planning committee decided that that's who they wanted, then we accepted their recommendation.
So to answer the question, then, all three of you unanimously.
No.
It doesn't have to be unanimous.
It didn't have to be
Nothing has
three.
to be unanimous.
It had to be majority.
A majority.
No. It was
That's
three.
not what the RSA states. It actually states that all three commissioners have to unanimously agree to waive the bidding process. That's
Well, it
all.
wasn't
But
waived.
we weren't
didn't
waiving
waive
any
anything.
bidding process. We had two bids.
There were two
Bonapage
people.
and Stone, I think it was Bowen out of Meredith or Center Harbor.
It wasn't a waiver of
There wasn't any
anything.
waivers.
They had already been, it had gone out for bid for these, that's why two companies came in to present. So it wasn't a waiver of anything.
No. The waiver, you're correct. If we waived anything that was over $5,000, we'd have to agree unanimously and have to come up with a good reason why we waived the bid process. You're right. But there was no waiving on this one. Okay? Anybody else? Mr. Brown?
I put a 91A request in for this last week,
Yep.
and I was told that this, by someone in this building, that this never went out to bid, and the delegation never approved it, and therefore, there is no bid. So,
I'd like to see that paperwork. You claim you got some paperwork that shows that?
He said somebody.
no,
in the
so
building
I put a 91A request in for this particular bid that everyone's talking about right now.
Yeah.
I was told that that never went out to bid and the delegation never approved it. And therefore, there is no bid that I can get.
Well, one of the things that you're saying, the delegation doesn't need to approve the bids. They don't approve the bids, the commissioners do.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is that it actually went out to bid and then the delegation approved the money for whatever came back what went out to bid. That it went out to bid and the
No,
commissioner
no.
said, okay, Bonner, Page and Stone, we pick you for the bid, and then it went to the delegation to be approved.
No.
It was never, I was told it never went out to bid, and the delegation never approved any money.
The delegation approved $15,000 out of cooperative extension money way back for the old nursing home, for the design and the estimate. The design, EGA did the design, found out that it was structurally sound, that there was no bearing walls inside and so forth. We got that report. We paid for that. I don't know right off the top of my head what that was, what we paid for. But then it was agreed with Bonner, Page and Stone, the balance of that would go towards the estimate to rehab the whole building.
So you just
Okay.
say then it was agreed to Page, Bonner and so it
It
didn't
was-
go out to bid
It
then?
went out to bid, two
You just
companies.
said, then you agreed that you're getting the leftover.
We're talking about the money, not, if we're talking about the bids, Bonner, Page and Stone had received the bid. I'm talking about the money that was available to pay whoever got the bid. Okay?
Well, then how come I was told there is no bid?
There was no,
Well,
And I
I
was
think
told there was no bid, and the delegation never approved the money.
how did EGA get involved? Did they get a bid? Did they bid out? Or you
EGA?
just give it to them?
I'm not sure. That was way back. I'm not sure what happened
You
there.
even sure, and you said it's paid
Are
out
you,
of
are
the
you in
money.
cahoots with what he's saying?
What do you,
Cahoots?
Did you,
what cahoots?
well,
What are you talking
there's
about?
something going on here that is not correct. We can prove that the delegation approved $15,000.
We already know that, everyone know that. We're talking
Okay.
about the bid. He's trying to, because every time you change your position, then it gets out to bid, then it is agree with PBS, and then EGA is doing it, so it's getting confused.
No,
I'm
cahoots?
trying to explain
Is
it.
there maybe some paperwork that we see that it went out to bid? Maybe we can check that out,
Okay.
that it went out to bid. When was that? Last year, 2010?
Yeah, it's probably 2010. Yes, ma'am.
Let me try to synopsize this. You say that the delegation gave you 15,000.
Right.
How did EGA come in to check out the weight-bearing walls, et cetera, that the building that we had to replace the
I
nursing
have to go
home?
back and check the minutes on EGA.
Okay,
That
so
was
anyway,
quite a
so-
while ago.
EGA came in,
Yep.
and apparently the refit or the redesign,
They came up with a
Was-
design
who
and
came
talked
up with the
about
design?
EGA.
EGA came up with the design, so
Yep.
two companies came in with a presentation, more or less bids, that was hopefully in the newspaper announcing that, came in, did the presentation. Your board thought whoever was great, referred it to you people, and you gave them the money. Is this how it went?
We didn't give them the money, we gave them the bid.
We gave them the bid.
The bid, well, you're gonna follow that with money, I
Right.
Yeah.
do hope.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why is EGA getting some money and then you're just throwing it at the company you chose?
Because
Why-
that's all we had approved was $15,000. That's the amount that we could spend.
For the design and the,
EGA went in to find out whether the building was structurally sound, okay? And all of the interior walls were not structural
bearing.
bearing, right, okay? They did their job, we got the report, we paid them. Now, I don't know, I forget how much it was, I'd have to go back and check,
Uh-huh.
okay? Then it went out to bid for the old building on rehabbing it, okay? And then the thing was that if Bonner, Page and Stone got the bid to do the whole building, then they would
Fold in.
give us credit for what they did in the initial design, in the initial recommendation for the layout of the building. Okay? I mean, they
Thank
were
you.
not going to do it for nothing, and they spent at
So
least
they got
3
up with the
meetings.
design work.
Yeah,
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
got it.
they spent at least 3 meetings with the delegation, at the delegation's request. One with the subcommittee
Mhm.
that requested them, and then the delegation requested them to come in, and they gave their big spiel as to where it goes. The deal was, I say a deal, okay? We only had 15,000, so the only amount of money that we could give Bonnet Page and Stone was the balance from what EGA spent and the 15,000, okay, that, whatever that is. If they got the bid to do it, actually do the job, then
They would credit that
they
money.
would credit that
towards-
money back, right, wouldn't charge us for it. They didn't, we didn't have a bid, so they sent us a bill. So, that's the way it stands,
Oh,
okay?
fine.
You
I-
understand it,
Hello.
okay. All right, you got another question
Well,
about it?
but you said cahoots, I mean,
Nah.
there's nothing in cahoots here. Bonnet, Page and Stone, I asked for the bid,
Yeah.
and I was told there is no bid, so are you telling me there is a bid?
Who told you there was a bid?
Well, is this person gonna be terminated if I tell you their name? I mean, the way I hear things go around, I was told there was no bid. I just asked for the bid, there's no cahoots.
Excuse me, what-
Bonnet, Page and Stone come in, they put forth a design plan, and they said, well, if we get the job, we won't charge you for the
That's right.
design plan. But if
Right.
we don't, we're gonna charge you.
Right.
So at that point, I said, well, did this go out for bid?
Mm-hmm.
And I was told it didn't.
I say it
Now
did.
I'm being told it is.
Well, who
So,
do you
did
believe?
it or didn't?
Who do you believe?
Okay, then can I come down and see you and get the bid after the meeting?
If I can find them, yeah. You were supposed to give that information to me last week.
Which one?
You sat over there and you said something about 91A, and I said I'd be glad to answer your questions if you give me the information that you had.
I turned it in last week, and you would sit
Okay,
there
I
and talk
didn't.
about it.
Okay, I didn't see it.
The 91A? You sat right in that chair right there after the meeting and was talking to Commissioner Kenny about the 91A, and the 91A was for this bid.
Okay, I didn't see it. Do you have his 91A?
I have a couple 91As. I think Kathy gave me copies. I think they gave it to her.
I don't have it.
I never
You
saw
You
it.
have it?
have to check it out. I think I have it. It's probably downstairs.
She has it. I don't
Never
have it.
seen it.
It's probably
Well, you
downstairs.
sat right in that chair after the meeting.
I don't have it. I
Well,
don't
I'm
have
not
it.
saying you have it,
Oh,
but
no,
you
you
saw
read
it.
it.
No.
You read it
I didn't.
because you told
Maybe you didn't,
me
but the
that if
chairman
it was a
sat
lot
right
of
in that chair.
work, that the employee was getting overtime. That is what you said. So you should read through it. I gave it to you. You said, oh, if it's a lot of work with the 91As, we
Yeah.
need to pay the employees overtime because they have to look up things. That is what you said.
Okay, okay. I don't remember seeing it. Okay, one more.
As far as the bidding process goes, it was reported by your reporter in last week's paper that
What reporter?
the 28-8, it's not 28D, 28-8D, it's 28-8C that requires any leased premises of the county to go out to bid. So apparently, you and your reporter are still wrong.
Excuse
I
me,
don't-
what reporter?
For the Carroll County?
Independent?
That's not our reporter.
Oh, it's not?
No.
The way it's, every article is scrubbed down and make
Excuse me.
everything look fine in the county.
Excuse me.
It
is
certainly
not
does
our
look
re-
like she's still working for the county.
Okay,
Okay.
that's not the issue.
That's improper for you to say something
No,
like
it's
that.
not. Not when I'm accused, when it's put in the paper that the chairman is right and I'm wrong. No, I'm not. It's because the reporter put in the wrong RSA. If she was an investigative reporter and investigated it, she would have, because I said it was either C or D. It's actually 28-8C.
Okay, Mr. Brown, that's between you and her, to get that straightened out.
Well, I just wanted to make you aware of the fact
Okay.
that before the co-op comes down here, that space has to go out to bid by the RSA.
Question. I don't believe it has to go out to bid. It has to be approved by the delegation.
Read RSA 28-8C, specifically about the sale and leasing of premises in the county. 28-8C.
Okay.
it clearly says it's gonna go out to bid.
Okay. Anybody else got any public input? Any public comment? Yes?
I think Will's doing a fine job over in that farm.
You think so?
I think he is.
Good. I do too. We got some minutes to approve?
Let's just do the public minutes for now, and then we will release the non-public. May 2nd, 2012, I read the minutes. It looks okay. And do you have any changes, Commissioner Solomon?
Yes, I do.
Except of the grammar. Do you have the
I-
content to be changed?
I just looked at those. Oh, here they are.
Anything other than grammar?
Well, just some wordage, but,
Does it change the meaning of the minutes?
well, I have questions about something. On page 2, under Commissioner Sorensen responding to public comments made about the COs hired because of the O'Mara plan. I don't know what that means. And
What word? The COs?
I don't know what the whole sentence means.
Response to public comments made about the COs hired. Because I think there was a question. I think the question was probably asked by Damon if under the plan or what O'Mara discussed, if there's new correction officers going to be hired. But you see, that is, a while ago, there was no public comments to report it.
Right.
Then there were only
I understand that.
then there were only answers, no questions. Now suddenly they start to put in the commissioners answer something, but it's getting confusing. If we start to work this way again, we better put a question in too.
We can make
Well,
comments.
I said that. That's what I told Michelle, was to incorporate the question into the answer, so that it would be clear. I
You told her
understand.
that, but now you have a question and asks about this.
Well, obviously because it wasn't there. And the comment to the investigative reporter and your opinion on it. I don't know what that means.
So where are you? Page
Same
2?
thing, the same, just after that sentence.
So you are by Commissioner Shorters, by Commissioner Kenny?
No,
I just
Commissioner
said-
Sorensen,
By Commissioner Sorensen.
it's a sentence
Because-
after what we were just discussing.
And to comment on the investigative report and your opinion on it.
I don't know what that refers to. Again, obviously to the question. so-
Yeah, but you see how confusing it is if
Well,
you do it this way?
that's what I'm saying.
We just have to put the question in from the people, and then we put in the answer. This is getting too confused. First we had only answers in,
Okay,
and then the questions were gone.
Oh,
Now
I
suddenly we do
understand
a
what you're saying.
combination, and it starts to get confused.
I understand what you're
We
saying.
put it in or we leave it out. So
Well,
suddenly
maybe
we
that's,
just put it in.
maybe that is
So-
an alternative.
So what we need to do, we need to put the questions in and then we
Well,
just
I don't
say
think
the
we need,
answers.
we need to put all the questions in. If it's obvious, then you don't need to do that.
But you see, now we're going to have an issue that we're going to pick out certain questions and put certain answers in. Then we're going to have, no, that question was important, why is that not in?
Response.
All right, then we don't put
So
anything in.
we need to come up with putting the questions in and we're putting the answers in, but we don't have to make it long. We don't have to make it long, we just shorten the answer a little, I guess.
No, I don't think that's the answer either.
Made about the COs hired because of O'Mara's plan.
I think it was
Okay,
just
we
referring
hired-
to that report.
Yeah,
I
two
think-
correctional officers were hired, and that was, I can't talk about his plan because it's not public information, but two COs were hired. And one
So what do you want with that
Okay,
LPN.
so,
phase? You want to take that out, or?
all right, so suppose we didn't do it, the response to the public comment made. The response was two COs were hired because of the O'Mara plan.
Or-
No, don't put it
No,
on there.
no, 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 you
Oh, were
you make
hired.
it, you.
Okay,
Hired, period.
were hired, okay.
It was statement questions. This is
Okay.
good, he just asked how many COs was hired because of the plan.
Okay, so 2
You wanna-
COs were hired, period.
Go ahead, Damon.
Just a point of order, if you say, if the question is, how many CEOs were hired because of the O'Mara plan that you applied to, that's misleading because they were hired, the
They
two
were hired
CEOs
before
were
that.
hired in the
Before.
budget.
Yeah, you were before, yeah.
So the answer would be, it's non-public.
Yeah.
It's not, the answer isn't two.
Okay.
But you see, if you do it this way, the
Thank you.
question is gone. That is what you get then.
Well, then let's leave the whole thing out.
So we put
The
just,
answer
we
why
can
they
just
shouldn't
put
be
questions
questioned.
in, but we have to put the answer in.
Well, in this case, we'll just leave everything out. And
So you want to have that piece out, let me see.
Those two
From
sentences.
CEOs, okay, we take that whole piece from Commissioner Sorensen out.
no, just those 2 sentences, the first 2 sentences.
Response to public comments, and I have the report right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just take that out.
Any other corrections?
And I have the corrections, grammatical corrections all done here.
You got, these are the grammar.
So the correction is on page 2.
Okay, you ready to approve the minutes?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the minutes from May 2nd, 2012.
With the,
As corrected.
As corrected.
as corrected, okay. Do I hear
I'll
a
second that.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion on the minutes? If not, all those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Did you vote?
Yeah,
You abstain?
Yeah, no, I vote.
You vote positive?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it'd be unanimous, so voted. We have some non-public minutes to release.
Well, we have other public
Yes.
minutes,
Okay, go ahead.
starting on 28th of March, correct?
You have 28th of March?
I thought, didn't we approve that?
No, I have 28th of March, April 4th,
I thought she was just going to put
April
in.
11th, and April 25th.
They were all approved, we were just going to put the
No.
corrections in.
No. they
Well,
have
I
not
don't
been
have
approved.
those minutes with me. So give me again the minutes, so I have to look it up.
Here,
28th of March.
28th of March.
28
4th
March,
4th of April
4 April,
and 25th of
No,
April.
and 11th of April,
11th of April?
11th April.
and the 25th of April.
So not the 4th?
Was it 4th of April?
You said 4th and
April 4,
Okay.
April 11, and April
Okay, we got
25th.
4 minutes, then we gotta get approved next week.
April 28th?
25th,
25.
March 28th, April 25th.
Okay? Let's go to the non-public minutes. Do we have any other minutes?
No, thank God.
Okay.
Okay.
As you recall, we were going to release, the request was to release the non-public minutes that we could release. All 3 of us went through the non-public minutes. We checked off what we felt could be released and what couldn't be released. Asha then took Commissioner Kenny then took those, retyped them, and she has them ready. We looked at them again, and they're ready to be released. You may find some items in there that should not have been discussed in non-public. That was back in 2011. And you'll see also in one of those minutes that we held up on somebody wanting to report something that should have been public. We said, wait, that would have to come out next week in public session. So, that's where we stand. Starting in January of 2011?
I have a January 4, 2012. That is what you put on the desk. Oh, okay. Or you make copies or something. Okay, you put this on my desk. And but did you print it out different? Because I thought I put all this on it. This is so weird.
I put okays up on the corner of all
Yeah,
mine.
but I thought I put this into it, and now it is all like a whole stack now of paperwork. Okay, let me see what I can get out. So I have the non-public minutes of Wednesday, January 5th, 2011. I make a